thinking of a song. I don't know. Wait a minute. How does it go? Maybe it's this one. Ah, yes, that's the one. Welcome to the Triple Threat Podcast. I'm Will Vaughn. Coming to you from Vancouver, BC. I got Matt and Alex Vaughns coming from Nova Scotia, Canada. How you guys doing?
Good. Multiple
what?
I don't know. You said Vaughns. He's always said Alex Vaughns. And of which there's only one.
Only one.
The new number 2.
Well, if you
number 6.
you won number 6. If you check the phone book, maybe you find more Alex Vaughns.
There are a fair amount of Matt Vaughns, including one that won a Canada Games gold medal in judo.
I'll tell you.
Did I tell the story on the podcast?
Good for him. No,
Mom kept having people at work be like, "Oh, your son won a gold medal in judo," and she was like, "No, he didn't."
You won a gold medal in judo?
And then so I don't know why I Facebooked the guy.
Juno, Alaska, or Juno?
Judo, like chop, judo chop.
Well, judo's more about throws.
There's no chops in judo. It's
yeah,
the humor of the judo chop. Anyway, so I Facebooked him and I was like, "Hey, people keep thinking I won a gold medal in judo. Congratulations!" And his response isn't like, "That's funny." He's like, "Oh, that's cool. You should try judo." And I was like, "All right."
I'm totally stoked on judo right now. Have you tried judo? The benefits of judo.
You're the best at judo in Canada. I think that
you'd be pretty
of course
high
you'd
on
like
judo.
It. Yeah,
so many.
Really, if you lost, you'd be like, "Judo sucks. You don't want to try judo, dude."
Yeah, judo kills you.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to get into. Judo? I always wonder. Yeah, like I always
karate. I get taekwondo.
Isn't Rousey an Olympian, judo Olympian? Is that what she
Ronda Rousey, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, she does some UFC too, right?
Gold, bronze medalist.
Yes, she does UFC.
Oh, okay. Did anything interesting happen in UFC in the last 48 hours, 72 hours?
Yeah. Misha Tate beat Sarah McMahon, so that happened. And Anderson Silva came back after a 13-month layoff from breaking his leg in the most painstaking way possible. Look it up if you want to, or don't, but it's pretty gross.
I don't know why you would do that.
Why you look up a man breaking his leg?
Is it worse than Psycho Sid jumping off the top or the jumping off the rope?
I'd say it's on the same
similar
level.
Yeah, same vein.
Gosh. Or that Thai kickboxer.
Oh, do you remember during the NCAA a couple years ago? The guy's that's the worst one because his leg
saw it by accident.
Basically exploded.
Oh, the guy who jumped?
Yeah, Kevin.
And Keenan on SNL is like, you know how he hurt himself? He jumped. If you hurt yourself like that jumping, then basketball is not for you. He was playing, he was being Charles Barkley, describing it. I remember the Silva thing happened when I was home last time.
Yes, I remember exactly where we were. And Twitter just blew up. Where everyone's just like, oh, and you're just like, oh, that's.
It was like Silva's tibia and fibula. It snapped. It blew up. But that was a nasty piece of business. So he returned to the octagon. But I saw him
to the octagon against Nick Diaz.
And Nick's got a brother, Nate, right? But is Nick the better one?
So he's the older one. I don't really know. Yeah, I guess so. Nate.
I mean, older doesn't mean better necessarily. Of course.
Yeah, obviously it does. Obviously it does in this game.
Of course it doesn't.
In all cases,
no, it doesn't.
It totally does.
It doesn't. Anyway, so
look at Alex siding with me on this.
Yeah, they're just. I don't like them. The Diaz's.
Nick
won in other places, and he's had title shots here in the UFC, but hasn't
right
really
here in the UFC.
So he's kind of like a top 5, top 10 guy. But he's never been a champion in the UFC.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's not an easy fight for Silva if you're going back into it. 13-month layoff. He's old too. I think he's like 38. I want to say, if not even older. He also has the least intimidating voice you'll ever hear in your entire life from a fighter. Very
even less than Tyson.
Hello.
I don't know. Check it out.
Tyson
is very soft spoken, I guess, or. Whatever. He's 39, and he's going to be 40 this year.
He doesn't speak a whole lot of English either, does he?
No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
At all, I don't think. Or maybe a little bit?
Yeah. So he came back last night and won by decision, which was apparently less than stellar. I mean, he's usually a lot more dominant than that, but came back, beat Nick Diaz by unanimous decision. So,
Okay.
And then after the fight, he was kind of like, "Yeah, we'll see." You're like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "I might retire." You're like, "Okay." I don't know why you'd spend all that time coming back for one fight and just be like, "See ya."
Well, he probably just doesn't want to go out on that break. That's probably
No,
it.
exactly. That's true. That's true.
If he feels like he's got the fortitude to work himself and come back from that, and just be like, I just need like at least one more. At least one more.
Like GSP kind of fights the same way all the time. He'll just dominate you, but he's not really going to finish you. He's just going to outstrike you and outwork you and stuff like that. At least in the past, I guess he hasn't fought in a while either, but never known for finishing either by submission or knockouts, even though he had done it several times. And then Silva's known for having some ridiculous knockouts and then also some less than stellar fights and where he's just kind of like walking his way through. But he'll go through stretches either way. So to win by unanimous decision was just kind of like, all right, well, I mean, you're probably not going to get a title shot right away, but we'll see what happens.
And even he's kind of up in the air about it.
Yeah, and it's not like he's going to be fighting CM Punk or anything like that.
Would they even be in the same? What's his weight class? Is he
185?
Okay, so that's about where CM wants to get down to, right? I think 185.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna
if he
last
can.
night. Saturday was weird too because a lot of guys missed weight, like weighing in for 170 at 180 and weighing in for 125 at 130 and stuff like that. So
They're off by
race?
that much.
What's
race?
that?
I said race.
Pardon you.
If you don't get weight, you just have to race people in the octagon.
Yeah, they don't race. So yeah, to answer your question, they do not race. That's correct. And
Yes.
It depends on how much you miss weight by. So sometimes you have to forfeit some of your money to the other person, or sometimes the other person still has to agree to it, which pretty much 100 times out of 100 they're going to do because they want to fight. So usually you have to forfeit some of your purse or whatever you want to call it. What do they call that? Payout, I guess, to the other person, 20% or something like that. So I mean, there are financial implications for sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm just surprised I missed by that much. Like 10.
Man,
10
this
pounds.
guy Rumble. So Anthony Rumble Johnson, who beat Alexander Gustafsson in Sweden, used to fight in the UFC at 170, but he'd walk around at 230 pounds. So he'd have to like through training, he'd probably lose 20, and then he'd have to cut like 40 pounds. And he got,
that's
I think
crazy.
he tried to weigh in. He ended up going up to 185, and he missed it when he was fighting Vitor Belfort by 12 pounds. He went in at 197, which is next to unheard of. You never miss weight by that much. Usually it's by, 2 or 3 pounds or a pound. And you can be a pound over unless it's a championship fight. And so now he's fighting. He left the UFC after that, and now he's fighting at 205, and still oversized for 205. So I can't even imagine fighting at 170. Like, he was just a monster.
Why would you walk around at 230 if you want to fight at 170? Wouldn't you
that's
at
seems
least
irresponsible.
Try to make it easier for yourself? I guess. I mean,
Well, you remember Angle's? Did you ever read Kurt Angle's book?
The one from 15 years ago?
Looking at it on the shelf right now, yes.
Yeah,
so,
he talks about cutting weight before the Olympics. And he's like,
Yeah.
I basically weighed in that day at whatever it was without cutting weight, and everyone around me was dying. But by the time we ended up fighting, they were like 20 pounds heavier. Because you cut down to 170, and then in the 24 hours, you rehydrate, you get some carbs in you, and then you end up back at like 200. So the goal being, when you weigh in, you both weigh in at 170. When you hit the octagon 24 hours later, you're, outweighing them by 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Because like Punk will walk around at probably 210 and then cut to 185.
And that's 25
That's a big part of it.
pounds.
I hate that it's a part of it. It's so stupid, but it's just how it works. You weigh in at this time, and
After that, all bets are off.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fights though. That's fighting. Speaking of fighting, you think you guys see Pacquiao and Mayweather in the?
Are they
the
fighting
Staples
or
Center?
not? If they're fighting, I'm in, but I don't know. I don't trust Mayweather as far as I can throw him, which is not far.
So he would. What do you think's the alternative? They're just going to hang out?
Well, they were at the basketball game.
I know.
Yeah, they're at the basketball game, but I'm saying there's no fight being.
Were they there together?
They were.
I think they were on opposite ends of the court, if I
Yeah.
read correctly.
I'm sure they know a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
But, I mean, first of all, they've been talking about it for so friggin' long that it's not even really the highlight fight it would have been, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it would have been a monstrous fight. And
They missed the boat. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So if they fight now, I'm in, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
I know Don King is still alive. He's like 82, I think, and he's still. Yeah, I saw him do a thing on Off the Record. He's still pretty sprightly too for an 82-year-old. I mean, he's an 82-year-old version of himself, but he's still, still got a mouth on him, man.
That makes sense that he would
He's
be that
an
age.
82-year-old version of himself.
Don't you hope that one day you will be an 82-year-old version of yourself?
I want to be an 82-year-old version of Clint Eastwood.
Don King.
I want to be.
No, okay.
I want to be an 82-year-old.
I want to be an 82-year-old version of Betty White.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's like 90 now. I think she's a nonagenarian.
I believe she. I think she is too.
She was not. She's like 90 something because on SNL wasn't she like she was with Sally O'Malley who's like 50, and then Betty White came out. She's like, I'm 90 years old.
She's 93 years old. My God,
that's remarkable.
She's so cute,
still sharp.
And she was on one of Craig's last shows, and they played.
That's
they had a guy dressed up as a hippo, and they had a choir sing, "I want a hippopotamus for Christmas," because it's like her favorite. It's like her favorite Christmas. It's the worst song, but it was. Really
I no longer like
Betty.
Betty White.
Screw
Betty
you,
White
Betty White. Your
dead to
terrible
me.
taste in Christmas.
By the way, when he says he's on one of Craig's last shows, ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about Craig Ferguson, the former Late Late Show host.
That's right. It's like
Will
Alex
is on
saying,
a first name basis with.
It's like Alex saying "Who man." And not explaining it.
I feel like
Craig Ferguson. No,
we're all who man.
We're all who man. Anyway, I don't know who that is though. Yes, one of Craig. Yeah, I don't know. One of Craig Ferguson's last shows. Yes, he's coming to Vancouver in a couple of weeks. Part of the Comedy Fest. So is Mulaney.
You got to see Mulaney.
You're gonna go
see
right?
Mulaney?
I mean, I'm gonna try. I can't. I don't know if I can.
We
see
pressure you pretty hard just there.
both. Yeah, it was a lot of. If you guys want to, can we do a Kickstarter fund? Get me tickets. Get Will to see John Mulaney in Vancouver.
Hey, if you can raise $50,000 for friggin' potato salad, I mean, sure we can get you tickets to
They made
Mulaney.
potato salad out of potato scratch. They did a hell of a job there.
Matt,
Potato
what does
scratch
that,
just a
Matt, what does
potato?
that mean? Can you
I'm not
translate
sure.
that for me, Matt?
I think that's
It's something Steve
it's a
Austin
take
said.
on
Of
Steve
course
Austin
it's something
said.
Steve Austin.
Chicken salad. He says chicken salad and a chicken on his family-friendly show. He says chicken scratch.
I get it now. Yeah.
Speaking of people's ages, I did not know Leslie Jones was 47.
She is old, man.
Yeah, she's old.
I guess, but it just goes to prove, folks, follow your dreams, because at 47 years old, you can be a Ghostbuster. That says a lot to me. Like, there's never, honestly, it's never too late for anything.
I love the casting.
Yeah,
I think
it's great.
there's probably a dozen women they could have picked that would have done a good job. Between the four of them, or they make four of them. And I think that Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, those were obvious. Those were always going to happen. But they're just great choices.
Yeah, given the director, right? I'm sure he's just like, no, they're in just automatically.
Is
Paul
Feig directing it?
Or is he directing it, or is he just producing it? I know he's
definitely directing it.
Directing it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He's definitely involved in that way. And then it's good to see some current, fresher SNL cast on there. I'm interested to see what Kate McKinnon does in a feature length movie. I'm looking forward to it, and same with Leslie Jones. So that's.
I love the way SNL
cool
people
news.
can just start creeping into movies, and then like back when Kristen Wiig was in like Knocked Up, she was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Bill Hader's in that too, and they kind of grow into it. Whereas Kate McKinnon, I don't think I've seen her in any movies. She's just going straight for the gusto.
She's going straight for the
But
top.
that makes sense though. Like Kate McKinnon is the person you watch on that show now.
Oh, she's a star.
She's a real stud, and she also
didn't
she was nominated for a Golden Globe or something a year or so ago.
Yeah, she was. Now, who if you had to pick somebody to be the Rick Moranis-esque character from the current SNL cast, which guy would you pick? Would you pick Karen, your Bobby Moynihan's, or what?
I would pick
Mooney came to
Mooney
mind.
came to
that
mind.
Would be
immediately.
amazing.
He's the first guy that came to my mind. Yeah,
Gosh, I would love that so much.
Actually, Beck Bennett, I don't think was on the show on Saturday.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, sorry.
Spoilers.
I kind of want to see it though. I'm so because J.K. Simmons seems like such a random, in a good way, a random.
It makes sense why they would pick. It kind of makes sense actually, but not. It's not as obvious as it might appear.
It's better than being an athlete or a singer. Actually, Blake Shelton wasn't that bad, but it's better than being. I don't usually like when athletes are on there, except for Eli Manning. He was funnier than expected, like way funnier.
I liked Peyton's obviously pre-taped
nightmare.
one.
Peyton's was good, and then
Why are you opening the door? Close the door. I'll kill a snitch.
Yeah, that's gonna look good once it settles. That's gonna look good. What's the guy?
Oh, Sally, your mother's dead.
And then Brady. I like Brady in the workplace sexual harassment.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. Remember, be attractive, be handsome, don't be unattractive. Poor Fred.
Freddie. Also, in casting news, this hit the internet this week. I don't know that they were doing an
Also
Indiana
in
Jones.
casting news. Welcome to the new podcast, Casting News, with your host.
The podcast
Craig.
where we casts and laughs. No, I did not know that they were looking to reboot Indiana.
I think. I mean, I guess
It
that
makes
sense.
There's money on in that franchise.
It
He just seems
reminds me-
like the adventure guy, right? Like
Yeah.
I guess it could be like how they want to make a what's it called? Uncharted. They want to make the Uncharted movie. I'm not sure where they are on that one, but the adventurer guy.
It was just the same movie.
I remember-
yeah, more or less.
Pretty much. I remember when they announced Star Wars 7, and there was something in my brain that clicked that I was like, oh, yeah, they can do that. There's nothing stopping them from making more of these movies. Is that kind of like, because in my head I was like, oh, they're just done with Star Wars. We're just done. We have these 6 movies.
No way they're done. There's like,
But they're
there's
not
money.
done, and it
There's
blew my
money
mind.
there. Yeah.
Did you? No, but but 5 years ago, did you think they were ever going to make a Star Wars Episode 7?
I thought it was possible because I've always heard that there was a 9-part series, so I always thought there was a possibility. I didn't.
It's going to be more than that. Aren't they just going to keep doing it till we tap out, which we probably never will?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
I will
think
take
the
my
audiences
grandkids
will.
to Star Wars Episode 42.
Wow,
Probably.
that's I don't know.
Bold prediction, folks. You heard it here first. We'll recap this in 60 years.
With respect, man, I don't know. You won't even be a 93-year-old version of yourself then. You'll be a lot older unless they start doing one every year. But they haven't
shock me.
announced the years for episodes 8 and 9.
What are they?
And this is a departure from the previous 2 trilogies, which were 3 years between movies. Now it's going to be 2 years between movies. So
I see that.
at the end of this year, we'll have episode 7. Oh, I just actually gave myself a chill saying that. And then in 2017, we'll have 8. In 2019, we'll have episode 9. And I told my agent, I was like, yeah, listen, there's 2 more Star Wars movies coming out. I would very much like to get in that. I'll get in line. Get in line behind thousands of people. I mean, Aaron Paul is like, I want to play Han Solo. It's like, really? What chance do I have when obviously anybody who's got any type of hand in Hollywood is like, yeah, you know,
Yo, Chewbacca!
I almost quoted.
It's the Force!
I almost
What did you
quoted
quote?
something from Arrested Development and then realized it wouldn't translate well.
Oh, okay. Was it French?
No, it's just don't worry about it.
All right, moving
won't-
on.
I won't
Indiana
worry
Jones,
about it.
Chris Pratt.
But yeah,
Do
Indiana
they
Jones,
keep him
Chris
fighting
Pratt.
Nazis?
Is that
in the 40s,
actually a
or what?
thing though, or is it just a rumor?
I don't
I
know
think
where that was.
it sounds like it sounds like it's fairly substantial. In that I'm actually not sure where the news comes from, but I know it's not like an actual rumor. I think it's like an actual thing that's probably in the works. So if they did it, he would probably be fighting. I don't know if he'd be fighting Nazis because Indy in Raiders is about what 39. I don't remember.
He
That's
wouldn't be a
when
reboot. He would actually just be playing Harrison Ford again.
I
what you're
guess.
saying?
I mean, I don't know if it's like. I don't know what they would do, but I don't know if he'd be younger than Indy was when Harrison made the movies.
Right, so it's just playing the River Phoenix.
I could see him
role.
I could just see him doing the 20s, or like starting in the early 30s.
Or the Sean Patrick Flannery version from the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
I'm glad they didn't go with Bradley Cooper. There's all that rumors that Bradley Cooper's going to do it. It's like, that doesn't fit. Chris Pratt seems like a more natural fit.
Was Rivers Phoenix? Was he young Indiana Jones?
He was in Last Crusade as Indiana Jones the first, like, and it's
Yeah.
great. Oh, that movie's so good. Gotta have to watch Last Crusade.
It shows how Indy gets his scar. He tries to whip a lion, but he actually accidentally
Hits
whips his
himself
own
in the
chin. And Harrison got that from a car accident. I just saw in the Indy special features, it's like they talk about the scar a little bit, and then Harrison's just like, yeah, I was just in a car accident, just got a scar. Like, all right, cool story, bro. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I don't think he's a renowned storyteller.
Well, yeah, he's an actor. Actors are storytellers, man.
All right,
Well,
shut
Harrison Ford is
Shut
not,
up.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah,
Actors are renowned storytellers, of course. They let the words of others speak for them. They're a vessel for a story, but they're not. I don't know. If you think he tells good stories, go for it. You do that.
I'd like to go drinking with him sometime. I hear he's real alky.
Is he?
Apparently, yeah. He's always drinking on set. Just to keep
like
himself
Wade Boggs?
steady. Yeah, I guess. What was
First,
the thing on Boggs?
Well, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia season 10 just started. And the first episode, I haven't seen any of it yet either. But Charlie Day was on Fallon Tonight, or whatever the hell they call it. And he's talking about the first episode. In the first episode, the gang's on an airplane trying to recreate what Wade Boggs used to do, I guess. And he would, legend has it that he would drink like 50 beers on a plane.
What? He's a professional athlete.
No. Like he said actually, and they had Boggs on set. He ended up being in the show. And he was like, well, actually, it was 107 I drank that day. The day of
I love.
Jimmy's like, how do they even have that much beer on the plane? And Charlie's like, no. He would start drinking like way before, drink on the plane, then get to the town and keep drinking. So and he was a career 300 hitter. Like he was renowned hitter.
Is stupid.
And a completely functional alcoholic, apparently. I don't know.
That is
hilarious.
I also, I mean, that's right up there with the Andre the Giant stories of him, like
I'm gonna
cracking
say
open a keg or something.
But
yeah,
Wade Boggs,
he's
a
big
sized guy. He's not.
Boggs is the same size as I shouldn't say the same size as the rest of us. That doesn't really make sense. But I mean, enough that 107 beers would kill me.
I bet if I drank 7 beers right now, I'd probably be sick. That's how low my tolerance is. 107. Why is that
Same.
like just? Why? No. I'm trying not to drink beers. No, 107. Like, are they Bud Lights or I guess maybe they don't know.
There's no way they could be light.
I mean, they're not.
Oh, they have to be.
They're not like IPAs. It's American beers, probably like Miller Lights. Yeah,
107 Guinness pints. Holy crap!
I think I could eat 10 sandwiches before.
Yeah.
Wade
Oh,
Boggs.
There's some pogos in the store.
Beers.
I want to go.
That's what we didn't do. We didn't do that. We didn't do the pogo challenge. Yeah, we'll have to wait till next time I'm home. Or you guys?
Oh,
do it.
we're gonna do that. Yeah.
We could do it or do it.
Oh, we going to do that?
We
Or
never
we
played
could do
the
it over
SNL Trivial Pursuit or
It's
whatever
still
it
here.
is.
It can be done.
It can be done. Okay.
No, I'm not doing it.
Just, you know what? If we actually, because, if we use the cameras as Skype and you pull a card and you hold it up to the camera and I can read it, then we can play it.
Oh, it's going to be so painful. I am in.
That's good. It's going to suck so much. Let's do it.
I want it so bad.
Man, it's going to suck. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's going to be a real rumble. Speaking of.
Hey.
Oh, hey-oh.
We congratulated the Rumble winner last week. Of course, we meant Roman Reigns. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
But
there was a weird audio glitch when you said his name. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was like, and I thought we fixed it, but I guess we didn't fix it. It's okay.
Sorry about that.
I thought we fixed it, but that's literally impossible to do.
Well, man, it's all your fault. But
It's like when they enhance a lot on television shows.
Enhance.
The worst enemy of the state, they enhance and like turn around and like, oh, he put something in his bag and he just wasn't facing the camera with it.
Enemy of the state.
That was ridiculous. Enemy of the state, a shockingly prescient movie.
Prescient?
What did you say?
Prescient, whatever.
I thought you said
Nothing. Never mind.
I said pre.
I thought you said
I was like, what?
I thought you said a swear.
Oh no,
Yeah, I thought you
prescient.
said a swear too.
Prescient.
I'm still not positive.
Like,
Not that I care either
you're
way.
getting so-
He said a swear.
He's getting so flippant. He's like, yeah, the movie's
I'm loose
pretty,
here.
It's pretty-ish movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said. I'm not just like,
Make me
oh,
smile.
I've let one slip
he's-
here or there, as we all know, but not in that way.
Not
What
in
are
that
your
way.
reflections from the Royal Rumble?
Not in any way. Well, this week I've listened to maybe 4 or 5 podcasts talking about it. And what was interesting,
probably
before I
find
say
something
anything
to do
about the
with your
Rumble, is, of
time
course, we had that. Well, I listen to podcasts. I don't like sit at home and listen to them. I'm on the go. I'm active. I'm a man about town, going on dates, and no, I'm not doing that. I listen to podcasts on a date. I'm like,
Let's start with
just a
the
second.
dates first.
This is a Stone Cold podcast. You got to listen to him here. If you want to appreciate me, you got to appreciate Steve Austin. No, what was interesting, of course, we had the blizzard. Oh, by the way, how was the snow there earlier this past week? Was it bad? Was it?
It was bad, but not like biblical bad. Not like.
It never snowed.
Like
did it ever snow in the Bible? By the way, I guess not, because it's not very snowy.
I don't
Most of the stuff doesn't take place in a very snowy region. It's all very
it's mountains and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah,
they talk about snow. Things being as white as snow.
Oh,
yeah. Psalms. Yeah.
They're aware of it.
This has been Bible Storm Corner.
Yeah, sorry. I watched Frozen the other day.
No,
I'm all about snow right now. No, so it wasn't too bad.
One of those biblical stories, Frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Book of Elsa.
About Queen Elsa and Anna. But it wasn't too bad out there.
It wasn't too bad. Alex, you survived?
Storm coming today, though, apparently.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
10 to 15.
You just asked me, the person you're talking to, if I survived.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't mean that literally. I mean that in I wonder what your experience of it was.
I did survive, yes.
I died.
This podcast is proof that you did not die, which is good.
Yes,
we need you live. We need you live for this show. So there was.
The title, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Can't find us up. No, the title, it's Triple Threat because we're exciting, insightful, and morose somehow at the same time. But the Monday Night Raw after the Rumble, usually the Raw after a pay-per-view show is all about, last night we blah, 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 and the guy comes out and like, that's right, I did. And the guy he's going to face next time comes out and says, yeah, you want a piece of me? You got a shot now, but buddy, I'm gonna punch you in the face, and then they have a fight, and then that's it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Usually, after the Raw after a pay per view, it's usually
comes out. He's like, "I did it," and he's like, "Did you do it?" You're like, "I did," and then this. I don't know.
Yes, and it's like, watch this. So Monday Night Raw, due to the travel ban in the Northeast of the United States, Monday Night Raw emanated from Stamford, Connecticut, not Hartford. It was very interesting. They were supposed to be just a couple towns over that night, but it emanated from Stamford, Connecticut, and they did for a 3-hour Raw where they can't have any wrestling. It's like I was thinking, don't they have a ring there? But it's not the Performance Center. If they got stuck in Florida, maybe they could have a match in one of their seven
Raw there.
In one of their 7 rings, have a 7-ring match. But they did what I thought they would do. They replayed the title match, the Triple Threat match, and they replayed the whole Rumble match. And they acknowledged, the controversy, the Philadelphia fans' reaction. A lot of boos for one Mr. Roman Reigns.
That's not controversy. That's not controversy. It's just people not liking what happened. It's not controversial in any way.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's...
How's it controversial?
That's how... How would we define controversy? Is that one of those words that's overused, do you guys think? Controversy?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It definitely is overused here, but I feel like this might count still.
I would think the controversial would be if Roman Reigns was he was eliminated there, but he came back in and then eliminated those guys.
Yeah, that would be controversy. That's what I agree with.
That would be controversy. Yeah. But this is contra... What would this be?
Did someone win the Rumble that way? They got eliminated, but no one noticed?
Austin did that, 97 or 8 or 97, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's
Brett won, but then he eliminated him.
Yeah, threw that piece of trash over the top rope. So I think that would be controversy.
Don't say that about Bret Hart. You were quoting him.
Hey man, Alex and I saw Bret Hart in Toronto, and he said, "Hey guys,"
we did.
And we
That's
did.
cool, man.
That
Bret
was
Hart,
really cool.
Was huge.
So weird.
Yeah, man, he was the best, especially in Canada. He was awesome. He still is, still kicking. Good for him. The Rumble happened in Philly, and I had a feeling that Reigns was going to win from the onset, and just the booking of the whole Rumble is just really weird, just the way they told that story, and there were a lot of missed opportunities there, and there were lots of things you could have done that they didn't do that would have got the fans a little bit on the side of the match, but just obviously 20 minutes in, Daniel Bryan kind of gets unceremoniously dumped.
I was surprised by that.
And all the fans just turn on the match right there. They just boo it. Everybody who comes out, it doesn't matter. Ziggler gets a little pop. Ambrose gets a little pop. That's about it. The poor New Day guys. This thing isn't getting over at all. They get nothing. The surprise entrance I enjoyed. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, like, so isn't Bubba Ray, like, how recently was Bubba Ray Dudley not the TNA wrestling champion? Like, I saw him there and it's like,
I'm not
thought
sure.
he was there recently. I think it didn't make sense
I
to me.
thought he was
like,
the guy too. Like I thought he was like a TNA guy, like being Bully Ray and having like one of the best solo runs of his career. I was like, oh, this guy's like got it going on. But I've heard a couple of podcast interviews with him. He was on Jericho's show, and he kind of made it sound like he's like, no, I'd go back to WWE. I think anybody in TNA would. I mean, Kurt Angle's even been like, yeah, JR, if I could have one more run in WWE, I would. You know, I'd do it.
I'm sad that Angle left when he did. He was great.
His contract was up, and he just didn't want to do the schedule. He couldn't quite handle the schedule, fair. So they mutually agreed to part ways. So it wasn't a messy breakup by any means. Which is good. But yeah, the surprise entrants were fun. Bubba, I never popped so hard for Bubba in my life. And then Boogeyman coming out, sure. And then obviously my boy DDP at 58 years old.
Oh. Yeah,
jumps
50. Oh my god,
he's 58 years old, bro. I'm 58 years young.
He looked good. And he'd pull off diamond cutters.
Looks like $1 million, dude. He pulled out 3 diamond cutters.
So many RKOs.
All the RKOs. I almost
so many Randy knockouts. What RKO stands for? Randy knockouts. Like,
I hope it's not what it means.
When he breaks down,
it's obviously a reference to RKO pictures.
So stupid.
His initials are Randall Keith Orton, I believe. That's what at least it's just
I
called him. Yeah,
I think that's even stupider. I don't know. I can't decide.
I don't know, but it somehow it works. If you get into the logistics of it, it's very dumb. But I like the RKO a lot. I thought we'd see Randy return actually because he returned to do a house show at MSG, I think, in late December. So I think he's good to go. I think Sheamus is good to go. Something that was brought up is like, why have Daniel Bryan come back like 2 weeks before the Rumble and just get dumped like that? Why not just not have him come back until after the Rumble? That way you don't have him in the match at all and fans aren't worried. Because last time we saw him, he's like, guys, I don't know how long I'm going to be out. So we're like, oh, okay. So you can take as long as you want, whether he's ready or not. If you don't want to put him in the Rumble and kind of give fans that hope, because obviously he's the most over guy in the match, probably the most over guy in the company, that he come out and not even make it to the final four. I mean, he could have been you could have him do the number 2 thing and maybe not even win, but be the number 2 guy and be in there the whole time, because he's a marathon man. That guy can go. That guy's not averse to doing 60-minute matches. That guy's an Iron Man. As opposed to, Roman Reigns, who kind of took a nap for most of it in the corner.
Can I hold on? Actually, now that I'm reminding of that, something I really hate they've done recently, and I know that they did it as like a joke a couple years ago when Alberto Del Rio won, which was also a joke that he won. When they have somebody who like rolls out of the ring or like it doesn't get eliminated, and then comes back right after the person wins, and it's like, oh no, maybe they won't win.
It was different you're right. It's different for Alberto because Santino came out and put on the Cobra, and everybody, he was actually really over. Everybody thought he had a chance to win, but he got dumped out. And then the ending was really weird. I mean, Rock comes out and then Rusev comes out to eliminate. Like, it just seemed really discombobulated. It seemed like if you change the order of certain things, it could have worked. Also, if Rock's there, why not put him in the match? That would have been huge if you put him in the match.
Oh my gosh, that would have been enormous.
It would have been enormous if you put him in that. But he gets a pop and he comes out in his civvies and he wrestles probably as much as he would if he was in the Rumble. But he comes out in his shirt. I mean, he's got to take a shower after he's done anyway because he's soaking wet by the time he's done whooping everybody. If you notice that, because I sure did. I noticed how soaking wet he gets. Gives everybody a whooping. But yeah, I gotta say, my boy DDP in there, that was really incredible. I was kind of hoping Jake would come out, but I guess Jake didn't come out. But.
Oh my god! Well, he'd have to be able to go over the top rope again, right? That's the whole reason Iron Sheik won that gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania 17, right? Because he couldn't go over the top.
That's true. That is true.
So maybe someone could like lift him and someone could catch him, but it'd probably have to be like nursing home people.
Yeah, exactly. So he's
care workers or something like that.
Yeah, everybody else in the gimmick battle royal can take a bump anyway. I think
Corny was in that. What's that?
As I was saying, I think Corny was in that. Jim Cornette, who isn't a wrestler, but I'm pretty sure he was in the Gimmick Battle Royal with his tennis racket. Anyway, you were saying, Matt?
That's great. There's a point in the in the Royal Rumble when there's like, I don't know, probably between 6 and 8 people in where it just slows down and nothing happens.
Too much. And
I don't know how...
And the crowd's dead, and everyone's
I don't know
just
how
kind
they
of
don't know to
stomping and
avoid
kicking.
that. Just eliminate more people more often. Like, they want everyone to have big runs, but it's like, yeah, then the match kind of sucks.
I
think
think
you can't do that.
Yeah, I think what they want is they do want at some point to have, they're like, oh, look at how many superstars are in the ring just pounding each other. But it's always just, it's 8 guys and 4 of them are pounding 4 of them in the corner. That's about all that's happening. And then they do the great Royal Rumble spot where they just, apparently a 250-pound guy becomes 1,000 pounds and they can't flip his legs over his head. I love that. He's hanging on to the ropes. Oh, man. The Rumble itself is a bit of a cluster. I mean, you have, Rowan come out and attack Axel, and he comes in there with Harper and Bray, and Harper points the gun finger at Bray, and the crowd was like, whoa! And then they just throw that away. He's like, no, I wasn't going to turn on him. Psych. Like, that's a missed opportunity. You could have had Mizdow come in and eliminate Miz or have something else different there. That's a missed opportunity. There's lots of missed opportunities in the match. I actually didn't mind. I know a lot of people hated how Big Show and Kane just kind of whooped. There's that word again. Just whooped a bunch of guys and threw them over the top rope like trash. I didn't mind that because those were heels getting some crazy Philly heat. I didn't mind that. I mean, it wasn't. I guess as a fan, it's like, well, these guys are like in the 40-year-old range, so obviously they're not going to win. And they've been around for maybe a little too long. Kane and Big Show, they've been turned and flipped back and forth so many times. Also, they gave Kane a bunch of eliminations, but he should have got a half elimination. Because it's like when you share a sack in football, you get half a sack if you tackled him with the guy.
That's absolutely how that should be done. I agree with that.
That's what I think. But yeah, everybody, people aren't happy with Reigns, and then the next night on Raw, they just bring it up like people think you've been chosen by the higher ups as the next guy. I'm like, what? No, he won a match. He wasn't chosen by anybody. That's not. You're getting way too close to breaking the fourth wall here, in my opinion. Like, we have an authority in wrestling, and the authority doesn't like this guy. Our authority characters are the ones who were like, no, we hate Roman Reigns. We didn't choose him at all. So that's a little dangerous. But on SmackDown, which was live on Thursday from Hartford, they made up the show. Triple H did say, he's like, yeah, he basically came out and showed the end of the Rumble, and he's like, yeah, you guys didn't like that very much. So Monday I'm going to make an announcement that'll shake the core of WWE. So we'll see what that is. And I actually, I wanted to look this up. I wanted to look up how many times a Royal Rumble winner was put in a title match at WrestleMania, and then that title match becomes a triple threat. It's like, they won this massive match. Shouldn't they have like exclusive, I'll say, rights to face the guy one-on-one? Like at WrestleMania, let me see what I can recall here. Well, WrestleMania 15 was one-on-one, 14, 16, that was a four-way match.
Yes.
20 was a triple threat match after Chris Benoit won the Rumble that year. 22 was a triple threat match after Ray won that year. 24 was a triple threat match after John Cena won that year. 28, 9. I guess 30 would be the next one after Batista won the match that year. But a lot of the times they turn it into a triple threat match. So this year, I don't know if you can do the same, because it feels like we're living the same story again. People want Daniel Bryan and they don't get him, and they're mad about it, and they're gonna maybe forcefully put him in the WrestleMania main event or something. But I can't see that being a triple threat match. So I'm not sure what this announcement is going to be. I'm surprised Reigns got such a bad reaction. I guess people just saw the writing on the wall and like, oh, this guy's going to win. So I don't think he was as disliked as he turned out to be by fans. So we'll see. He's going to have to claw his way out of this, and this will make him a better performer, because people point to The Rock back in the day when he was a face. But his face run was like his first, he debuted in the Garden with this dumb character with his dumb outfit with all the tassels as Rocky Maivia, even worse Jerry Curl or whatever you call that haircut. Back when he was a buff lesbian, people, hated the guy, and then he turned heel and did his whole thing. So when I'm thinking and what I'm hearing is like, what if we do this? What if you keep the title match, Reigns against Lesnar, keep it 1-on-1, but maybe at Fastlane or something, Paul Heyman will turn on Brock and have a new Paul Heyman guy in Roman Reigns, because Paul goes from guy to guy, right? He's an advocate. He's always, I'm sure you could script it like, well, Brock, I'm after the young talent now. Reigns is the future. Well, actually, it's kind of hard to say that Brock's a thing of the past, but clearly Brock is kind of becoming a face, and he doesn't have to change his character at all. He just has to keep doing what he's doing because everything he's doing is very over. He got a very strong face reaction in Philly. So I think if you do the double switch and then at Mania you have face Lesnar against heel Reigns, I think that could work. Or you can do the turn at WrestleMania, but I think it would work more because people are going to boo Reigns anyway. It's kind of like what happened again last year with Batista. He came back as a face and then he became a heel just because people naturally just didn't like him, and he can play that heel role. And I'd be interested to see how well Reigns can play a heel role. Because I think most guys who get really over as a face have to have a good heel run in them first. That's what John Cena did. He was a heel for a long time. Actually, he was face, heel, and then face. And also people have suggested that maybe Roman Reigns should go after a secondary title. Maybe go after Wade Barrett in the Intercontinental title. That could be good if you win the secondary title first and not go right for the top shelf. Or maybe he could be the first guy who beats Rusev and wins the U.S. title. I don't know. This is possibilities there that all seem like a better plan than just face Reigns against heel Lesnar at Mania. Because that's obviously the fans don't want that. And, this is the time for WWE to call some audibles. And maybe, I know they have a long-term plan. They probably have a bunch of merch and stuff set up. But, you got to give the fans what they want. Alex said to me in text, he's like, it's kind of like they hate their fans. I'm like, yeah. It seems like that. But I don't think it's that they don't hate their fans. I think it's just that they're missing what they want. But it's kind of a weird thing too, where the fans, I think, feel like the fans have a voice, but also that feels like, no, we're just going to scream what we want until you give it to us. I think they're like, quote unquote, hijacking shows a little bit. Like they can't do a show in Chicago for the foreseeable forever without getting CM Punk chance. It is, it's impossible, in my opinion. But anyway, this is the thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens at Fastlane. We'll see how these feuds develop. We'll see what happens. The rumors. Go ahead, Matt.
Just because I don't like the name Fastlane that much.
Yeah, it's dumb. I think they're just like driving to the next town, and Vince's like, "What's a good name for a show? Damn it!" And they're just like, "Yeah, boss, we're in the Fastlane.
That's a good name.
Yeah, Fastlane. That's a good name." Because they did have Over the Limit a couple years ago. A lot of their pay-per-views have to do with driving. Over the Limit and Car Crash '96. Remember that one? Yeah, Fastlane's dumb, but I am glad they got rid of the Elimination Chamber because I think that's a weird bump on the road to WrestleMania. In a weird way, I think that's a match. Like something that should they pull out every now and then.
Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah, Survivor Series, and it's been into SummerSlam, and it's been into New Year's Revolution. I think it's been in every pay-per-view except for WrestleMania, but I just don't like making. I don't like the event pay-per-views. I don't like having TLC where it's like, well, we gotta somehow shoehorn these guys into a TLC match because that's the name of the next show, or the Hell in the Cell. It's like, well, we gotta have a Hell in the Shell, Hell in a Shell. Sean Connery's a big fan of that show. Hell in a Shell.
Hell in a Shell.
Hell in a Shell. But I don't like the gimmick pay-per-views. Just call it like, I like when they called it Judgment Day and Unforgiven. And then you had a Hell in a Cell match, or you had an Elimination Chamber match there just because they said so. And it's a surprise to the audience, and they don't see it coming a mile away. People, I think still enjoy surprises, I think, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah. So there's Fastlane. The rumors now... I think they wanted to do John Cena against Rusev at Mania. So I think maybe they'll have Rusev and John Cena at Fastlane, and maybe some schmozzle will happen there. So we'll have a match at Mania, maybe for the U.S. title. Maybe John Cena wins the U.S. title, and maybe that's his last Mania match, and then he bookends his Mania career that way. That'd be appropriate.
Is he going to retire?
No, I don't think so. But you got to think though that John only has a few years left, maybe only a couple Manias left. I would say maybe 3 or 4. But he is stepping. So. Yeah, he's stepping out of that top spot though, gradually. You know, they're acknowledging him as the past. Like, yep, John Cena's the past. I'm not sure what Seth Rollins is going to do at Mania. Maybe he'll do a cash-in. I don't know. But he's getting really over, almost into dangerous face territories. The rumor also is Daniel Bryan against Sheamus, just because. Just, Sheamus is coming back and Daniel Bryan, so they'll have a match. Another rumor is Bray Wyatt against Undertaker. But that all depends on how Undertaker is. And yeah, because Undertaker has nothing on the line except maybe, I can't say his legacy. I don't know what it would be. And then Triple H against Sting, which seems like pretty obvious. That will happen at Mania in Santa Clara. So should be interesting there and should be interesting again. I don't know how they're going to sell 105,000 tickets to WrestleMania in Dallas next year. I really don't.
Just Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster or your local, yeah. Just try your local
Superstore, Kroger's,
yeah,
Trader Joe's, yeah.
Camp out at Sobeys. Yeah, camp out all night at Sobeys. Anyway, that triple threat match at Rumble was awesome. I'm glad I paid $50 for the show that they played all the important matches for free the next day on television. I was like, but I wanted to see it live, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, so that's the wrestling rap report that you can call in the Herald line 425-2525. That's the number. Yeah, I think that's what it was. 425-2525, and then the Wrestle Rap report was some kind of code. I watched some movies in the past week too. Finally saw Imitation Game, by the way, and I thought,
what'd you think of that?
I thought it was quite lovely. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I watched American Sniper, and that movie I give that a 3 out of 5. That movie was okay. It was pretty much it was a pretty predictable war type movie. I think Bradley Cooper gave a strong performance, but I kind of don't see how it's one of the top 8 movies of the year. It's got some cool photography, but other than that, I'm not really sure. And what else did I see? Frozen, obviously I saw that. I'm going to try, like I said, to watch all the nominees this year. And see, because the Oscars are in 20 days, They're less than 3 weeks away. So get out to your local multiplex and check it out. Actually, it's funny. Cineplex is doing what they call the Digital Film Fest, and they have a bunch of movies. They have Aliens, Kill Bill 1, 2, Blade Runner, and The Rocketeer is one of the digital movies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I know you wouldn't be in line for that one, Matt.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, don't bother.
I also watched, you guys ever watched the movie Seven Psychopaths?
I haven't seen it yet.
Alex?
No, but I want to, because it's the same guys who did...
yeah, it's written by Mark McDonough. Yeah, it's written by the same guy. That's an interesting flick. I recommend checking it out. It's a weird one, but I recommend checking it out.
Okay, so interesting, not bad, but just different.
Interesting, not bad. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it's a cool flick, and Christopher Walken's really cool in it too. And that's about it. We can give the hockey midterm report. The Leafs are bad, and Canucks are average. All right, there you go.
The Leafs lose again on Saturday or no?
Actually, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check.
Anybody? Bueller, because that'd be what, 9 in a row. 9 times.
9 times. 9 times. 9 times. It's been roof stoof for them for sure.
Because he wasn't sick, he was skipping. Yeah, they lost again. So I don't think Carlisle was the problem. That team's just a mess. It's like God spilled a person.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Yeah, they suck. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's got to be tough in Toronto. But that's what happens. And we'll see if the Canucks can score more goals. That'd be very nice. I don't know. What else, guys? What else can we talk about this week? I don't know. There's pretty much everything important going on.
Just about it. Can't think of anything else.
I'd say.
Have you
Should we
guys been
do
watching
okay?
Parks and Rec?
Yes,
Oh,
I
shoot.
really am liking it.
Any mid-season
I didn't watch.
thoughts?
I like it a lot. It's better than last season. I think it's the shot to 2017 kind of gave it some new life, which is fun because I thought it was kind of a gimmick, but it did a really good job. And
So they're just not going to show the kids, eh?
Yeah, they're just not going to
They
bother.
just always talk about
That's
them.
fine.
Like,
No
"Oh,
one's
they're
like
bad."
clamoring for them.
No, it's just an
Yeah.
odd thing to do, and then just not really, just kind of have them in the background or just like barely acknowledged, and that's it.
Yeah, they were at the last episode of season 6, but then ever since they've just been pictures, I believe. Because Amy Poehler doesn't work with kids, which is I think is odd considering why did they write her kids into it then? Doesn't make
She
sense.
doesn't work with kids. That's just
She doesn't want to. She's had enough. Yeah.
She had a
Doesn't
bad
wanna.
experience. Did she get bit by a kid once, and now she's a weird kid?
I think it's because she had kids and she's just like I don't really want to I don't want to spend time with them.
Look, I spend time with my own kids. I'm not going to get paid to spend time with kids and pretend they're mine.
my own gravel voice children.
They say don't work with kids or animals, and I think it's not because they're a pain in the tuchus, but it's because they'll always steal the scene away from you.
Oh yeah.
I
What
know.
about baby animals? You can work with baby animals, though, right? Or is that double bad?
Yes, exactly. Baby animal in the sea. Don't work with a baby dolphin; he'll steal every scene. In the ocean will be a big pain in the butt. I mean, I know. I work with both, and nobody cares what you do. It doesn't matter. Which actually is probably good. You can just kind of throw away all semblance of caring or effort.
Nice.
You can get rid of all that. Alex, you mentioned earlier that Wade Boggs was the 300 hitter, and actually, I shouldn't bring this up because I don't remember the numbers. But do you remember? It was like a week or two ago. Bill Burr on his show mentioned something about Babe Ruth. I don't know if you heard it. He's talking about like 400 hitters back in the day of baseball. Anyway,
No,
I
I
thought that was. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting discussion. He was talking about how Babe Ruth is basically playing with
hitter though, really.
not in like 60 years or something.
Right.
But that's what he's saying. That it's been so long ago that like I guess he's saying that the dichotomy between the top and the next level in baseball a long time ago was so wide. It's like you had these guys who were amazing and then these guys who just were okay, like very bad pitchers. I guess is what he's saying.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point. Like the stars are really stars, and the other guys are just guys to fill out the team, I guess.
Yeah, they're saying Babe. Like,
But I don't really know
the
anything
pitching
about
was the biggest
baseball
difference.
90 years ago or whenever that was, so it's hard for me to say.
Baseball's been around for like 147 years.
It's an old sport, man.
It's a long time.
Old as crap.
It's a long arse time to play baseball. Anyway, we'll talk. We'll do our baseball preview in April. go D-backs. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's good enough for this week. Oh, we put in the time. I think it's that much of a
Ringing
burden.
endorsement for our own podcast. Well, that's what we just did.
Well,
That was a podcast. We had it.
Yeah, we dropped that one in the bowl. All right. Well, I'm going to say I am on Twitter at William C. Vaughn. And then Matt.
I'm on Twitter at William C. Vaughn.
Okay, cool. Yeah. If you have any questions for Matt, send them to that account.
And Alex, what are you on Twitter?
I bet William C. Vaughn.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. He's all
Yes,
about
son.
that Twitter. No Facebook. You know what song's about fat people? I didn't know that. Anyway, I guess because bass is like a big I don't know if you have a big low end or something. What next week we'll talk about? I don't know. We'll find something to talk about next week.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Valentine's Day will come up.
Oh yes, it won't.
Probably not. The film or the day?
The film.
Of course, the film.
By what's the name of that producer?
Gary Marshall.
Yeah, I was gonna say the guy Paul F. Tompkins. This is Gary Marshall. When he was in Vancouver, he did that. And he's like, this is Gary Marshall. I'm in town. I'm scoping out the shows that shoot out here. I'm looking at Fringe and the adventures of, Fringe and all his friends, whatever they get up to every week. I killed. Thanks for listening this week, folks. If you have any complaints, send them to me. Apparently, I represent all three of us. And if you have any suggestions, rants, raves, reviews, insights, outsights, upside, inside,
out of
out,
sights,
living La Vida Loca, don't be afraid to pass it on. Stay safe. Be excellent to each other, as they would say in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And we love you. All right? I just want to say it. We love you guys a lot. Yeah, it's heavy, but that's how I feel.
Bye, everybody. Good week.